All I'm doing right now is training and trying to keep up with all the craziness that's going on in the community. And yeah, I'm like involved dead in the middle of all of it. And I heard one of the most amazing pieces of advice I've ever gotten. And that was, it's actually up to you to decide. I just thought that was amazing. Of course it is, it always is. And sometimes you get these really strong affirmations where you remember those things. I will be ready to defend, and I understand what the problem is. You know, like I understand what some of the East are saying now, or what their fears are, I should say, or what their misunderstanding is. And I know what it revolves around. Well, listen, there's a few things, okay? But let's deal with one of them at a time. Okay, the first thing is this rules thing, okay? Devon rules, okay? And, you know, people have made all sorts of assumptions about the rules in the sport and, you know, the WL, that I was in charge of the rules. And, you know, there's very simple things that I guess kind of shape a story. And the truth is that I've talked closely to owners for a long time when it comes to arm wrestling. We discuss all sorts of things. We talk about ideas in arm wrestling. We talk about rules and sport in general. So I've had a lot of influence because I'm a great lover of arm wrestling. And people generally know that I have the best of intentions. So was I involved in WAL Clown League? Did I make the rules? No. Did I talk about rules with them? Yes. Were some of the things adopted to a certain degree based off of my not agreeing or agreeing to probably a minimal amount, a very minimal amount. And the same thing is true when it comes to East versus West or whatever. You know, Engen and I fought about rules the entire time I was an athlete. We discussed rules. At every single rules meeting, you see me arguing about rules with anybody who will argue with me. You know, you guys know I came up with freedom arm wrestling. Yeah, okay, and everybody thinks that's crazy, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. But yeah, you can tell that bugs me a little bit, right? Whatever, freedom's cool. But we had a conversation about the rules. Neil Pickup, Brian Shaw, and myself. And this was a long time ago. Neil and I and Brian all talked about rules. You know what? We should have had somebody from the East there as well. We should have had Engen in that discussion. You know, we should have had, you know, Engen's probably the best choice, right? To be in that room and talk to Brian Shaw about the rules. And yeah, he should be. But the thing is between the three of us, we came up with a bunch of rules. What we thought. We talked about it openly. So, and that's what I've heard. I've heard that athletes are afraid of this rule set that's been created. And I'll tell you, it's not that much different. And I don't even know if what he's going to do. I don't know anything that Brian is going to do about the rules of his event because I, believe it or not, well, I am an owner of everything. Sorry. So I believe that the first thing that's interesting is he may or may not keep the same table size. Okay, so the actual dimensions of the table might actually get larger, I think. Maybe. The next thing that might happen is the pads may change. They may enlarge in all directions. The pad height may lower. The pin pad height may lower. May or may not. I don't know. I don't know what the decision will be. I think that the rules, the start will be there will be an enhanced facilitation of the ability to get one's own grip. There will be an enhanced ability to do that. Might not work. If it doesn't work, we go right back to standard set the way we're running it now. And probably running fouls, maybe not, I don't know. So I think that's what people were afraid of, because they knew about this conversation that was had by Neil Pickup, and now that the event, and guys, it's quite a long story why the event got changed. It's really it's really quite ridiculous. But anyways, Vitaly, we're 7 weeks out. We're 7 weeks out, and there's no excuse for you. And then who's left? Levon?